What's going on, YouTube? You know who it is. It's your boy Shrek. We're back with another video, guys. So we acquired a service truck. We've been wanting a service truck for a while. Now, as you guys know, we were working out of our little Ranger. Well, we upgraded. I don't know if this is only me or everyone, but ever since I became a diesel mechanic, and as you guys know, we're mobile, I've been wanting a service truck. You see guys always out on their service truck and everything, and well, you want one too. So finally got one, got some decals on it, got the back branded, the back window, and as you guys can tell, it squats a lot on the back. We replaced the shocks and cab mounts, and there's a big gap on the front, which is normal. That's how it's supposed to sit, and then the back is squatted down. Both sides are squatted. We have a lot of weight, and it does bottom out a lot. So that brings us to this. What we will be adding today are some air springs, and they're from Max Speeding Rods. This is not a sponsored video. It's completely out of pocket. We purchased these. They are airbags, helper airbags that you add air to and adjust. We did also get an air controller kit, but we won't be installing this today. We will be only installing the airbags because I do want to install a controller to control all my accessories. As you guys can tell, we do have flashers or lights on there. Nothing's plugged in yet because I want everything controlled by a module, one controller. That way I don't have all kinds of stuff on the dash or inside. This truck did not come with the toggle switches like some of the SuperDuties come. So that's why we will be adding a panel, a switch panel. If you guys know, we work with Lucky Whips company for lighting solutions a lot. We have Lucky Whips all over our Razor. We'll be running a Lucky Whips switch panel on the service truck. We will also be running rock lights from Lucky Whips. I like how bright they are. I'll be running 4 of them. 4 white ones, maybe some in the rear, some in the front, I'm not sure, but we will be getting rock lights and that switch panel. So as soon as I get that switch panel, I'll be installing the controller and the lights. I mean, not the controller, the compressor for the airbags and the lights. So for now, we'll go ahead and unbox these airbags, and then I'll show you guys how I go about installing them. I looked online, a lot of videos, people usually take 3 to 4 hours installing them, so we'll see how long it takes us. So I'm sure you guys are aware or familiar with the saying, do as I say, not as I do. Well, that really applies here. You should never stack a jack on top of a piece of wood, but that's what we're doing here. So I did take off the wheel just to give us better access. We have to get in there. So I'm just browsing right now, see what we have to remove. I know we removed the bump stop. Go ahead and take it off right now from the inside. Use a ratcheting wrench, and I believe I hold it. So we will have to be on the inside of it doing all this stuff. So for now, took off the wheel and jacked it up. I have it on jack stand on the other side, a jack right here, and I do have the differential supported by a jack as well. So here we are, inside look of where the bump stop is. The nut is right up here. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. And we will be using a 15 mil wrench to remove it. Alright, and there it is. Took it off. That's the first one. We'll go ahead and do the other one right now in a little bit. We'll start mocking this airbag up right now. All right, so we already ran into our first issue. This is a service bed on a SuperDuty. And as you can tell, that's the bolt where the upper bracket for the airbag bolts onto, and they are actually using it for a mount for the service body. So what we're going to do, I already took off the bolt that goes through there, and here's the upper bracket. It doesn't fit through. Simply, we're just going to drill it out and continue using that mounting spot. All right, we've went ahead and drilled out the hole a little bit more. As you can tell, we just need to put some spacers on it. We haven't tightened up the bolt built yet, but it's where it's supposed to go. So then the airbag will just mount onto this, and we'll see what else goes on it right now. So far, there's where we're at. All right, so the bracket is on. We did use the spacers. We used 2 of the thick ones. Ran the bolt, which is this bolt, ran it through the hole on the bottom of the bracket, and then each spacer has pre-drilled holes through it. And then it goes into where the bump stop originally was, that existing hole. Then on the top, a nut and a flat washer. Bolted it up, should be good. Now we're gonna start working on the bottom part. All right, now to lock in the airbag to the top of the bracket, we are going to be using a nut and this lock washer. On the inside, I'm not sure exact measurements on that nut, but we'll be using the 1 and 1/8 socket to hit that nut on the top. Should fit right in there, like so, and then just tighten it. We don't want it too tight or you'll break it. Just snug enough to where the strength of 2 fingers could turn it. There we go. Airbag's in place. Now we start working on the bottom part. Hopefully it clears this bracket. Now we'll have to cut it off or do something with it. So we'll get started on the bottom part now. Actually, before we do the bracket, the bottom bracket, we do have to install this fitting onto the top of the airbag where the airline's going to be pushed into. Let me see if I can get you guys right here. There we go. And it does have a little O-ring, so you don't have to put any Teflon on it. Tighten it right now. All right, so all we needed was a 16mm wrench to be able to do the top of the fitting. Let's go ahead and work on the bottom bracket now, as shown on the instructions. Bottom bracket, I know it's this one, and it does have a screw that goes through there. This little one, we'll go ahead and put it on right now. All right, so here we go. We went ahead and installed the first airbag. Took us about 2 hours already. Looks a little crooked, to be honest, but we'll see how it settles once we put air in it, see how it extends and everything. We did use the big U-bolts, the square U-bolts with some hex nuts that is provided, the 4 hex bolts with hex nuts, and then the strap for the differential to the bottom base or bottom bracket. That's how we went about it. That's how it's installed. All we would have to run now is the air line from the top out to the front so we could put our air. Since we're not running a compressor right now, we'll run the other airbag tomorrow. Actually, it's already getting late. Like I said, it's 2 hours. I started pretty late, and we have to have some food. There's fights tonight that the girls want to watch, so we're gonna go ahead and handle that right now. Put the tire back on, leave it on jack stands, and I'll continue this tomorrow. Thank God we're in our own driveway. No one bothers us here. Pick this up tomorrow. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Day 2, working on the truck. We left it on jack stands, so right now I'm just gonna jack it up a little bit more, take off the tire, and get started on the passenger side. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we are on the passenger side. Small update. We did go ahead and take off the bump stop already, sprayed it down. It was easy to come off. Now this bracket goes on the inside, and this goes on the outside. I've been looking for instructions, but I couldn't find any, and the booklet does not include the passenger side instructions, but I pretty much figured it out. This part locks into this hole, but as you can tell, I have the mount for the service bed in the way, so I will have to trim a piece off of this, and then on the bracket we do have to trim a piece, like a little ear, off of the inside because it does hit with that bolt. So that's what we're going to do right now, and then I'll mount it up and show you guys the update with that. All right, so there we go, trimmed down pretty much. Hopefully it doesn't bite me in the ass that I might have trimmed down a little too much. If anything, I'm just gonna throw some tack welds on the sides, that way it's mounted on the frame. But this is where this goes. That's why we did that. So you can tell it slides right in there. You could either put it towards one side or towards the other to offset it. So we'll have to measure it right now and make sure, but I believe it's gonna go like this right here. Then the bolt goes straight through there. Washer and a bolt straight on the other side. All right, so here we go with this one. Went ahead and installed this. Is like a nut on it and has a little indentation just so it fits against the slot that's right there. It has a big washer on the other side. Let me see if I can show you guys. On the other side, it has a big washer and the bolt going through it. And then right now, all we have to do is put some spacers in between the bracket and the frame and put a bolt straight through it. Go ahead and do that, and then we'll start mounting the airbag onto it. All right, so we went ahead and, like I said, we installed the bracket. So you can see we're on the inside of the truck right now. Here's the airbag already. We have the lock washer and the nut on it as well as the heat shield for the exhaust. So that's how that should look. This side is a lot better and easier. It lines up a lot better as well. That side was a pain pain in the ass because, like I said, this is a service truck, not a regular Super Duty with the regular bed. So I'm not sure what goes a little different from the service truck to a regular bed, but something along the way changes, some type of geometry, or maybe the way they mount the service bed that makes it a little bit more difficult to put or install on that side. This side looks a lot easier, other than clearing out that area right there for the nut on this side and the bracket on the inside. Everything else looks like it lines up pretty easily. So we will continue with the bottom bracket now and go from there like we did on the other side. The top of the bottom bracket has to get bolted down. I will lower the jack, that way we have more room as well. Here's a look from the outside. So for starters, we do go ahead and put the bottom bracket like this with the bolt through here, securing the airbag to the bracket as well. That said bolt is this little one right here. For these bolts, the Allen head, they are all 7/32 Allen. So put that on and come back. There's the top of the bottom bracket. So next is this one. It sits on the differential, then goes bolted with these four right here with 4 nuts. So let's go ahead and put those and we'll secure the rest of it. All right, here we go. This is where we're at. Starting to look like this mount has to be shifted more back, but it lines up right there. So pretty sure that's how it should be. Lines up with that bolt that goes through the old bump stop. Well, we're gonna try it there. I'll inflate it with air, see how it performs now. We have to run the airline from the top and just run them straight back. I'm not going to do the compressor right now. Like I said, I wasn't sure if I was or was not. Running out of time, I'm getting tired. The games are on. We want to go and enjoy the rest of our Sunday and just relax a little bit. So we're going to just run the lines to the back. It does come with these fittings. They're like the ones you put air on a tire, regular tire. And I'll just use the gauge to put air into the airbags. Run it like that. Next weekend, I'll come back and I'll do the compressor. But for right now, run the airlines and then put air on the back. That's what I'll do right now. That's what we'll keep it at and then go from there. Alrighty, so here we are, final product. You can tell we ran one of the airlines through the frame where the exhaust is. I put it on the outside, then I ran it back inside. I'll show you guys where I connected it on the back. I did the same with the other airbag. I just ran the airline from the airbag to the back. So I'll fill them up manually for now, separately. That way I could regulate it. I have a little compressor. I'll show you guys. I'm gonna mount the tire right now and then we'll go ahead and fill them up for the first time. Put it all down and fill it up for the first time. See how it works, if it has leaks or anything. That's where we're at right now. Like I said, we do have a compressor system and that whole setup for this as well from Max Heating rods that I will be running. It has a gauge for the inside so you could check how much air it has and add or release some air. That'll be next weekend probably, or a separate video. For now, we're just mounted them, running them manually. All right, so I don't know if you guys remember where the stance was. It's sitting a little bit higher right now. I'm pretty sure that because of the airbag, how it sit, their spacing isn't allowing it to go all the way down between the bracket, the airbag, and the top mount. Right now, what we will be using is our Eden Wolf little compressor, little power pump. Shout out Eden Wolf. And like I told you guys, this is where we ended up running the airbag, the fill port. Both of them are right here, left and right. Real easy, temporary, until we set it up with the compressor next week. I'll be putting 25 psi to start off, or probably more, probably a good little 35 psi. See if it is filling up. Probably have to go underneath it. There's the airbag with some air. Might actually have to add more air to it. As you can tell, I don't know if you can tell on the other side, it's really low. So let's add 45 psi. It is going up. That's at 45 psi right there. So I'll add 45 psi on the other side and take it for a spin, see how it runs, see how it feels, and go from there. We just came back from a drive right now, test drove it around the neighborhood and feels solid, feels good. We'll have to test it out during the week, see how it feels. As you can tell, there's a way bigger gap than when we started. That feels pretty leveled right there. Obviously the fender on the box sits lower, but it felt pretty solid right there. We'll test it out during the week, see how it is. Then next week, like I said, hopefully we have our controller so we could go ahead and include the compressor on it. If not, I'm just gonna run it straight and then change it eventually. But there it is. It took us about 5 hours actually. A little bit of customization, a little bit of trimming, drilling, and it went on. It's not perfect, I think. I'm not sure. I don't know how it should look. I don't have experience doing airbags, but it's functional. It isn't bottoming out so far on the driveways like it was before. It actually rode pretty smooth. Kind of feels boaty though. I don't know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm just gonna insert a little update on this video. Editing right now, we're on our lunch break, and it's been already 3 days since we added the airbags to our truck. I'm messing around with the air pressure on the airbags, and originally it was a little boaty, I think it was, or like swayy, and I think it was because I didn't have enough air in them. I did run them at 35 on Monday, and it felt a lot better. Then I went to 40 yesterday, 40 psi, and today I have it at 45. 45 feels a little stiffer, so I think it's in between 35 and 40, the sweet spot loaded for daily driving, just because we have a lot of weight in our truck. But other than that, it's recommended to run 5 or 10 psi for normal driving on a regular SuperDuty or regular pickup truck without a load or without towing. Back to our video. I don't know if it's because of the airbags and just back and forth movement. Felt a little boaty, but nonetheless, it's doing what it's supposed to. So with that being said, I'm gonna leave you guys with that one. Hopefully it helps someone. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. And as always, if you're at home, enjoy time with your family. If you're on the road, be safe. Catch you on the next one. Peace.